What's going on out there, good people, and welcome back to LMD Trading, where I am living my dream trading. Hope everybody out there is doing well on this Friday Eve as I sit down to get another daily trade recap out of the way. Today, I had high expectations on the market. Seeing as how we had CPI data coming out this morning. We had PPI yesterday. I think I'm getting those right. PPI yesterday, CPI today. Yesterday was somewhat lackluster, so I really shouldn't have had my hopes up too high for anything going on this morning. And it disappointed because I did, and it didn't really do anything. Something else when trading. You can actually have good red days. Can you believe that? You can have good red days. Those are days when you did everything that you were supposed to do. The trades that you took were good trades, and they just didn't work out. Not all trades are going to be green. And then you can also have bad green days, or green days that are bad. Today, we had one of those instances. So let's go ahead. Let's bring up TRADERVUE. We'll look at the trades, look at the details, and then we'll get over into Think or Swim. Reviewing trades for Thursday, May 11th. We took 4 trades today. Closed P&L 2782. And today was a bad green day, y'all. Today was a very bad green day. That could have been a very big red day. And it would have been a bad red day. So however you look at it, it was a bad day today. But we traded Hood, we traded SPY, STSS, and JAGX. Looking at that, Hood was actually a good trade. JAGX was actually a good trade. It's that SPY that was a bad trade. Even STSS was decent. It was decent. If you look at duration, we stayed in those first 3 trades a very long time to make what we made on those. JAGX was one I set back down in the afternoon and I found. But yeah, that's what we did. Before I switch over to Think or Swim, I want to show y'all something. TRADERVUE has updated their charts. They have updated. This is the new chart layout. If you remember classic charts, that's what their charts used to look like. Very plain Jane. You can't do anything with these other than come up and change the time frame on them. That's basically all you can do. Let's come back over to interactive. Interactive, when I highlight this, I can move the chart. I could use my scroll wheel and blow it up. If I hold control and put it right here, it'll just blow it up right there for me. When I first saw this, I was like, I don't think these markers are correct though, but they are. That is actually where I got in this trade at. Look at how good that was. This was a nice little breakout trade that I was taking late afternoon. Entered it right there. My stop, it's going to be down here most likely, or it could have been right there. We'll check these candles when we get over into Think or Swim. But entry right there, look at my exits. Good exit right there. And then I kind of held this one a little long, took it all the way back down, basically to break even. So that's why I said JAGX was actually a good trade. Let's come on down here. Maxed unrealized gains, 2108. I was risking $10 on this trade. So this went 2R. This trade actually went 2R. You see I scaled out 150 shares and then out of 50 shares. Went against us a little bit. Didn't quite, it wouldn't have stopped us out. And you see right there, I was risking 10 cents. That right there tells me all I need to know. Maxed unrealized gain This is max unrealized based on cents. So 10 cents made $21. I was risking 10 cents on this trade. But that's the new chart. I like that. I like that. And then we got running P&L. This just shows you when I first got in the trade, it did go red. Got green, peekaboo, back down red again, and then boom, nice move up. And you see me getting out of the trade on my P&L curve. So that's what we did right there. Let's go ahead, bring up Thinkorswim. I said bring up Thinkorswim. There we go. Got to hit that button a little bit harder. If you want to see what I'm using, here, I'll show you. Let's see if this is it's attached to this. If you got an old iPad, if you have an old iPad and you want to make use of it, this is a very old iPad, and I have an app that I found online that allows me to use my iPad as like, my mind is horrible. They make a device that you can use where you can have different buttons set up. That's what you could do with your iPad. So if you're interested, let me know in the comments and I will figure out what that app is called and post it. But yeah, I got buttons for all of my screens. So I could push left screen. It'll take me back over to where TraderVue was at. Main screen takes me to main screen. Got another one for intro and so on and so forth. But let's go ahead. Let's look at the SPY real quick. SPY, again, CPI data, 8:30 this morning. That was right here. Very lackluster. It made a bigger move before and after, but makes this move. Pre-market, this thing kind of pushes down. You notice it pushes down right there to that white dash line. Spoke on this yesterday. This was an area that me and Vega were discussing over in the Discord yesterday. That was a very key level yesterday. And if you noticed, it acted as a very key level today. So that's why it's kind of important to mark your charts. Something else, Vega, I don't want to tell Vega's business, but Vega took an excellent trade today, y'all. Excellent trade on Microsoft. But he didn't have his previous low of day, previous high of days marked on the chart. And he got out of the trade as Microsoft was bouncing off of previous day's low. Pull that chart up real quick, just so we can see it. 10:42 was the time. I know it. Bam. 10:42. He caught this trade over here somewhere. This thing kind of came down. Didn't have previous low of day marked on the chart. He got out of the trade and look at what that thing did afterwards. It never looked back. So he ended up adding this study to his chart that shows you previous high of day, previous low of day. So you don't have to do nothing. It automatically adds it to your chart every day. And that right there, had he had that on the chart, would have been banger. I think he said that the contract he was in actually went 100% back over here somewhere. And I think this thing continued going higher. Just kind of chopped around the 50 moving average. But yeah, it went 100% right there. Watch this though. 10:42. Let's take a peek at AMD. AMD. Previous low of day. 10:42. Same candle. Taps previous low of day. And then makes the nice move. The move is not as nice as Microsoft. It's not as nice, but it keeps grinding higher. It's $1. It taps out at 96.13. Over here, we're at 97.16. That's $1 move. I don't care how you look at it. It's ugly, but that thing goes $1. So having your charts marked with these key levels is very, very important. That was the purpose of that little spiel right there. But let's come back, look at SPY. Another key area on this chart that's going to be somewhat important for my trade is this mint colored line. That is the weekly up channel. Weekly up channel. And this is the base of it. This is the bottom of it. I'm going to come over here to the hourly so I don't have to mess with that chart. But notice this. That's the base right there. That's the top of it right there. You can see it down here on the weekly chart as well. The base, the top. If this thing can get over this area right here, if the SPY gets over 417, this thing got room, y'all. The SPY has room. So if we can get out of this little consolidation period right here where it's kind of consolidating, has to hold. If it breaks this, it's coming back down to this level right here. So if it can hold and it can break, you see I got this green dash line right there. If it breaks that green dash line, we might see good things on the SPY. But let's look at the bad things that we did on this trade real quick. Switch on over to the 3 chart layout. Pull up SPY's option chart. Bring this over to where we got in at. It is not showing, so we're going to click clicker, and there we go, because Thinkorswim sometimes wants us to be finicky. And let's go ahead. Let's look at this trade. Let's see why I keep saying that it was a bad trade. So, pre-market, 8:30, CPI makes a move, flushes right back down to VWAP, and then it just kind of fades on out coming into the market open, kind of gets around this white hash line. This is a very key level, very, very key level. Chops around, but look at where it coming base out at. It bases out at the weekly up channel, pushes back up, market opens, and it just kind of flushes down. Let's look and see where we got in this trade at. We get in this trade on this candle right here. Look at that right there. This is absolutely no man's land. Why am I going long right here? Several things going against this trade. First and foremost, weekly up channel. We're below it. So now this is a price level. It's not a support level. It's not a resistance level until you know where the stock is trading at. So the stock is trading below it. So now this is a key resistance level. So that's one thing going against it. 2, we're below the 20 moving average. We're below VWAP. That's 3 reasons not to take a trade long right there. 4th one, and I don't even have it drawn, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw my trusty channel. I am buying this basically in the middle of this channel, but it did come down, bounce off of it. So expectation is this should come back up to the top of the channel and get rejected and pushed back down. What does it do? Exactly what I should have expected it to do. So I'm in a trade right there. This thing moves higher. So let's look at something real quick. I'm in at $1 and I got 2 contracts, y'all. So I wasn't even trying to stick my foot in the water. I was like diving in almost. 4 contracts is me diving in. 2, I'm just kind of stepping into the pool. 1, I'm just putting my foot in the water to check the temperature. I bought 2 of them. So I'm in at $1. This thing goes up to 112. So I'm up $25 when this comes back up here. Expectation, get out of that trade right there. Take that small little gain and be very happy because you took a trade that you shouldn't have taken. I don't do that. It comes up, it taps. Look at where it's tapping. Several areas converging. You got the 20, you got the weekly up channel, and you have the down channel that I just drew, all converging. Bulls don't want no part. Bears are like, yeah, we got them. They shove it all the way back down. Now watch this. I'm going to come over and I buy, guess what? 2 more contracts. Let me come back to my arrow. I buy 2 contracts in that candle right there. Again, why? Why? I'm going to tell you why. I had a very long biased opinion on the SPY for whatever reason. So instead of me looking at what the chart is telling me, because it was clearly telling me this is a downtrend, this is below VWAP, this is below weekly up channel, I still bought a long contract right there. This thing flushes down, I double down and I buy 2 more. And I buy 2 more with the thought of, if this thing breaks 410 and holds, I am out of this trade. I'm going to take a loss that's a little bigger than I wanted to. And it is what it is. This thing peekaboos, 409.97. That's low of morning right there. Now, if I was smart, I would have bought another contract right there. Let's look and see what that price would have been. So I would have bought another one at 60 cents if I was smart, because again, this is my line in the sand. That's my line in the sand. So I don't. It comes down, and now we just along for the ride at this point. This gives me several opportunities to get out of the trade. And I'm going to keep scrolling this over. Let's look and see where we were at right there. Again, this is going now my price is a little averaged out. So I kind of won't really know what my P&L was coming through there. But coming through these key areas, I was getting back green on the trade. I know over 90 cents, I was green. And I wasn't at the desk. I pulled my phone out and I saw that I was green. So keep my backpack on me with my laptop. Open the laptop up real quick. I'm up about 40 bucks. I throw an order in the system to just let me get out of these contracts. I'm thinking I'm putting that order right where the stock is trading at, and it flushes. Boom. That's this move that you see right here. Flushes down. So I'm like, oh man, what the heck did I just do? Or it may have been over here somewhere where I was trying to get out at. Flushes down. Now I'm along for the ride again until I finally get out right here. Until I finally get out right there. So this was definitely not a good trade, not well managed, and I just happened to scrape out and basically get out flat, probably losing a couple of dollars on commission, because every contract that you buy, 65 in, 65 out, that's $1.30. You multiply that by 4, that's $5.20. I lost $1.20 on this trade. But in TRADERVUE, it's going to show it green because it does not account for commissions. But that was the first trade, or not the first trade, but that was a SPY trade. Not very good. Let's take a look at Hood real quick. And I spent quite a bit of time on that one too. Let's take a look at Hood real quick. Hood was a pre-market entry. So let's come on over, look at it. This one's not going to really show much on this chart. So I'm going to switch back over to this layout for these last 3. I think this will show. I guess. Yeah, it does. You look at that. You'll see the hourly on why I kind of took that trade. So it's the hourly here. We click arrow so that changes all of those. So I'm getting in at 950. As this is coming down off VWAP. Stop giving this a little extra wiggle room. That's why you see I didn't do a full 100 shares. I did 60. So giving this a little extra room. If I'm in at 950, let me see. And actually, this one ain't going to give me the information. But that's why I did 60 shares. I needed to give this a little extra wiggle room other than the 10 cents. 10 cent would have put it at 9.40. Needed extra wiggle room. So I'm in here pre-market. Look at what this thing does once the market opens. I get out of the first 40 shares at 966. So getting out as it's coming to this level right here. And then I get out of the last 20 at 980 as it's pushing back down. But this was a good trade, y'all. This was a good trade. I like this trade. First area of concern, back up there to the high. Look at what it does. It just comes right back up there to the high. I don't think this did anything else afterwards. It did not. So good exit right there. Got what I wanted out of the trade. Again, it's all about scalability. If I'm taking these trades consistently and they're green, I'll start scaling up on them. But pre-market, I still want to be fairly size appropriate for pre-market because I'm not able to put stops, hard stops in the system. I have to manage these looking at it the entire time. I can't kind of flip charts. I got to keep that on the screen. But that was hood. Let's go and take a look at STSS. This one here was not really a good trade. Let's come on over. Let's look at it. I'm on the wrong date. There we go. I said that, but let's look and see where we're getting in at 919. Yeah. This was one that I got in early, y'all. You see, I have this line dropped on the chart. I shouldn't have took a trade until this broke over it and then retested it. The old break and retest. Let resistance, let the ceiling become the floor. I got in right there. This bad boy flushes down. I'm like, oh, snaps. Look where it catches support at. Previous low of day. Catches support at previous low of day. And then it makes the move that I was looking for. Comes on up, breaks over this area. And I'm in 200 shares. I get out of all 200 shares basically flat when this came back down. In at 120, stop 110. Again, this is a 10-cent stop. I did go in a little heavy with 200 shares. I was risking $20 on this trade. What does this go? This basically goes 5 cents. It goes 5 cents and then it pulls back. And I don't think it did anything else the rest of the day. Not a good trade because we got in too early. I didn't wait for the break, the retest, and then the go. So green, flat basically. What I made 8 cents, got out break even. That was smart though to get my stop to break even. And last one, JAGX. Let's take a look at JAGX. JAGX. Look at the big picture. Big picture somewhat can let you see why I did what I did. I'm in at 105. That's on the hourly chart. We got it dropped. That's on the 2-minute chart. And you see JAGX had kind of sold off, bounced around, recovered. We get the retest of previous high of day. Nice little buy setup right there with about 1 R worth of room up to VWAP. I catch this late. I don't see none of this. I sit back down a little late. Right here would have been the good entry. As it breaks that, then you can put the stop down there. So I'm kind of chasing. Get in right there. 200 shares. It's a little aggressive again. Because again, 10-cent stop. Figure 105. 95 is going to have a stop down here. Actually, 5-cent stop would most likely have worked. 105, $1 is right there. So I can see 200 shares with a 5-cent stop. That's probably what this trade was. In right there, Killer move. Killer move on that breakout. And like we showed over in TRADERVUE, scaled out. I'm out of 150 shares right there. I let this come all the way back down, basically to break even. I'm in at 105. I get out of those last ones at 106. Basically getting out flat on that last few. And we basically make a little over 1R on this trade. But we saw this trade actually went 2R. So if I was trading 2R all or nothing, this is a discussion that we have quite often in the Discord. If you notice, on quite a few of these trades, had I been trading 2R all or nothing, my P&L would be greater than it is right now. But because I'm trying to get a little extra out of this market, and this is not the market to be trying to get a little extra out of, I'm not quite getting as much money as I should be in my account. So that's something to think about, but I already know how the market is, y'all. As soon as I go to taking trades 2R all or nothing, that's going to be when they run. And that's just how the market is. It's crazy like that. It is absolutely crazy like that. But thanks for checking me out as always. If you hadn't hit that like button, please do so. I only ask at the end of the videos. If you already hit it, I appreciate it. If you hit that button when you first came in, I appreciate it. If you made it all the way to the end and you like what I'm doing and you hadn't hit that like button, now is a great time. If you're not subscribed, please think about subscribing. And as always, we can continue the conversation in the comments. Like I said, the previous high of day, previous low of day, that study is in Thinkorswim. It's the settings that you got to play with. So if you're interested in those settings, shoot me a comment. And yeah, we'll do that. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Vega, who is a very experienced trader that hangs out over in my Discord, he says we should see something tomorrow. He says that the market should digest the information from the last 2 days. So we should see something. And that's what we are hoping for. So as always, again, thank you. And we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Peace.